rest of the garden is still mostly asleep. Obviously everything along the side of the house is asleep because it's under 3 feet of snow. There's Issa the monster. Roar. She's stalking me this morning. She says, "Mom, you're not sitting where you could scratch me." So now we have to decide where we're going to plant our peas. These beds out here are finally all cleared off. So we're not sure what we're going to do with this bed yet. This was our bean bed last year, and we had a huge amount of trouble with an assortment of buggy things in there. So yeah, they ate the roots, literally ate the roots off. And we know that some of it is wireworms, but I've got to do a little bit more research and see what we can do to try and control that. We used to plant potatoes in here, and we stopped because we were getting too many chewed up potatoes. Some of our herbs, they always overwinter, they don't smell so good. And the iris that I got as a gift from a friend last fall looks good. We were working hard to try and keep the tulips and daffodils from coming up, and we were concerned that they would actually bloom while we were gone last week, but they didn't. They were under snow when we came back. So they did pop up through the snow yesterday, and then the snow melted off late afternoon at this end of the bed. Of course, not at this end of the bed. This area here is completely in shade, except for absolutely the deepest, darkest moments of the summer, or maybe I should say the brightest moments of the summer. This is a solar house, so it's oriented so that the south side of the house gets the maximum sun exposure in the winter, which means it totally blocks the north side. But our daffodils are doing super duper in terms of coming up. We've got some tulips that are definitely looking tulipy. Something ate the first sprout that came up here, and I had trouble with that last year. I actually wound up having to set rat traps. But so far, that was the only one that's been eaten, so we'll watch. If they start becoming too voracious for their own good, they will wind up in a rat trap. We have lots of daffodils coming up, so I'm hoping for a really great display. And Jack is just really enjoying the fact that the sun is out for a few minutes here. He says, "I'm going to lay on the flagstones and relax." I realized that I forgot to mention this bed when I was walking around. We call this our carrot bed because we've used it a lot for carrots and parsnips and things like that in the past. It was specifically built extra deep dirt, extra quality dirt, so that the carrots and things would grow nice and straight. Last year, sort of a mishmash of little things, not a lot of success. We actually let it go fallow for the end of the summer last year. We try and let at least one bed or two go fallow every year. I think we're going to have to eliminate that process because we've sort of run out of room. The plants over here, let's see, this is Mexican poppy, and it has gorgeous pink flowers. I need to restock this here. The soil has sort of washed away in the corner here. But yeah, that's what all this dead stuff is, Mexican poppy. And this used to have onions, still sprouts. I think we have a chive sprouting over here. Yeah, that's a chive sprouting. I've been trying to get rid of the chives. They sort of took over the world over here. But not sure what we'll plant in there. We've been debating possibly planting fava beans, which the Brits call broad beans. Early, because they will tolerate cold soil. In fact, they prefer a colder soil rather than a warmer soil. So that's on the list of things to check out. This is one of our monster lavender plants. That's sage. More Mexican poppy at the bottom of it. There used to be some parsley in here too, but it sort of seeded itself into some random location. But this is one of my little favorite beds. This is a repurposing of some block that my daughter had, when they redid their yard, and I said, sure, I'll take that. And I had just enough to do this round bed, and there used to be, I think there still is, yeah, there's a little bit under the edge of the lavender here. I need to redo this. This used to be a fountain. I think if you peek underneath, you can still see the, down by the frog there, you can see the original bottom tub, and I had it elevated on, that bottom tub was there, and I had it, this one here, elevated up on some rocks, and it was very cool. Very cool. I really liked it. Believe it or not, there is a rose bush in here, and there's also another rose bush in there. This one here is a wild rose bush that our son brought back from working for Grandma up in Maine for a week or so, a million years ago. I think he was still in high school. And this one was a rose bush that our daughter gave us. It's been totally swamped by chives, but gave us for our 25th wedding anniversary. So yeah, I obviously need to dump these out and add more soil and just generally redo it and try and get as many of those chives out of there as I can, since it's sort of taken over the world. And we have another small bed of daffodils here too. I have a few weeds in here too, but there's also some daffodils coming up, so I have great hopes that we'll have some real nice blooms this year. And here's our makeshift bird baths. I need to refill the old frying pans. Works great in the wintertime. I can just bang them on the ground and pop the ice out. In the summertime, they have drip irrigation, keeping them full all the time. And I need to reset these. I can see the one is cockeyed now. But we will have days where these are just emptied completely by lunchtime, when we have big flocks of bluebirds come in. And when they're on migration and stuff like that, it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. And totally colorful, because we get the western bluebird here that is just almost a neon blue, the males. So very cool. And there's a few random herbs in here. There's a couple rosemary plants over here, and I think that was English thyme over there that's taken over the world, and I just kind of let it. It smells good. It's not so invasive that I can't control it. But as you see, the one that's out here in the bed, you probably get some leakage from the main bed here, but it's not getting watered out in the walkway. I do water a little bit in the walkways. I have a coreopsis, yes, tickweed, coreopsis, that is seeded over here. I moved part of it into a different bed, but the rootstock here came back again. So in the summer, I actually run a single little teeny line out here, one of these kind of things, and it just goes right over here, keeps it watered, and that's just enough to keep it alive, and it just blooms like crazy. So sometimes I just decide it's not worth fighting the battle to try and completely remove everything and keep everything totally tidy. That's a hollyhock that's growing in the middle of the pathway. And we have here's more Mexican poppies that escaped. All the Mexican poppies in this entire yard came from two small plants that were purchased, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. This, which looks terrible right now, is a snapdragon. And for whatever reason, it comes back every year. And in the real hot times of summer, I try and give it a little extra mortar, but mostly it just sort of makes do. And it's a pretty color, so go with it. These are California poppies, which is why I have stones around them to remind me not to step on them. And there's a lot of California poppies that come up in the gravel here. They've naturalized here, and we allow them to bloom as long as they don't become a trip and fall hazard, which they sometimes do. And when they get that bad, they get pulled out. Need to clean the dry riverbed over here. I really like it when that's all tidied up. It looks cool. So, and Someone is working incredibly hard holding down the flagstaff. Oh, he says, I got caught, Mom. I show you my tummy. Yeah, he's holding down the flagstone. It's a hard job. Somebody's got to do it.